Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bullhucker podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Adam Vokey.
We are back at the Brush Emporium, brother.
We are.
210 Clayton Street here in beautiful Brush, Colorado.
Yep.
We got kind of a fun guest today.
We do. This is going to be a good one.
His wife was on last week.
Yep, that was a good one.
Yep, it was a good one. We did kick her ass, though.
We did.
Yeah, there's a finger.
Yeah. She's telling us that we're 1 and she's 0. Is what she was just doing.
Was. Nick Grantham, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for letting me come down and share some stories with you. I like telling stories.
Yeah, we once again, this is a running thing with me. We get going and then something happens. I got to start re-recording, because I kind of suck at this. It's not great. So, welcome to Brush, Colorado, Nick.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah.
Owner of the Queen Lounge.
Yep.
All right. Not as many hats as your wife.
No. She leads the league in licenses, apparently.
That's right.
Like 30 of them.
That's right. And we snitch on her because she walked out to go do something, and you said you were.
She's the beauty. I'm the brains of the operation.
But that doesn't get you the finger. That's bullshit.
We all know better than that, right?
That's right. Well, welcome to the Bullhucker podcast. If you're new and haven't been here before, what we do is we bring on a guest. Today is Nick Grantham. Nick's going to tell us 3 stories about his life. Now, here's the kicker. Only 2 of these stories are true ones, either borrowed, halfway made up, or all the way made up. Now, Nick, we talked a little earlier. You just want to let us go. We're not going to see what it is. We're going to wait till the end.
Well, we'll run through and see if you can figure it out.
Yeah. I'm into it. I will tell my story one more time about the Queen Lounge because we're talking about the craziness that happens in that bar. How old is it now?
The bar itself opened in 1980. So we're looking at, what is that, 43 years?
43 years,
yeah. I think the last time I did one of the, because when I worked for Budweiser, I'd always do that was my job, is to go do the anniversary.
The promos.
Because my liver was probably the most, reliable. Because Harold would start giving me beers at like 6:37 in the morning whenever we were there. And the one time I drank until noon, I had to call Mike Whaler, rest in peace, Mike, come get me. I'm too drunk to drive this van home, So he shows up, he starts drinking. Next thing, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're both hammered. So we got to call our other boss, Rick Bain, to come in. What's Rick doing? Now, Rick was a boozer. He showed up. He started drinking. We almost shut the bar down. I don't even know how I was speaking English at the end of that goddamn night. But I ended up at home in my own bed, so that was nice. But
we talked about it. It happens to more people than you think, that multiple cars will show up to pick up one person because they all get drunk.
They come in and it's like, you want a beer? You're like, I'm here to pick up somebody. Come on, have a beer.
Just one. Just one.
You ever, I think it was Armageddon was the movie. It's a vicious life-sucking bitch from which there's no return.
Because that's what he wants to name the meteor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to name it after my wife.
And she's all, oh. That's her habit. That's a great movie, by the way. These aren't. You don't have any Queen stories today.
No, I went with some other stories that I kind of thought about, and I was like, oh, I kind of like these. Are kind of
okay.
They mean something to me, and they were fun.
Yeah.
The Queen stories, they're just drunken bar stories. Everyone's got thousands of those.
You know what? We're gonna talk about a few when we're done telling stories.
Oh yeah, I'll get into them. If you want a question, I'll answer.
Yeah, there was a lady named Silver now. Gosh darn it, I don't know her name, but they're doing like a haunted tour. And I told her to come talk to you. I know she did. Probably not since.
There was a group that came in, and I can't name Paranormal something. They came in and did a little tour of the Queen maybe 3 weeks ago. And she actually sent me an email about what they found up there, and I haven't got into it yet.
This is like a bike run.
Oh.
They start in Hudson. Because I'm on the museum board here in Brush, and they came. They're going to stop by the museum because they got some older stuff there and a weird doll or whatever. So they used to do it. They just moved to Brush, but they used to do it up in Estes Park. They would drive from haunted location to haunted location, and I was like, "Do you guys go to the Queen Lounge and the Sands Theater?"
Oh yeah.
I said those are 2 that should be on your list, and so if I see her, I'll tell her to come see you.
Awesome, I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's God, I can't remember, but she was wearing like the Supernatural. Do you remember the TV show?
Yep, one of my favorite TV shows.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
I watch it religiously. Like I probably watched that 15 seasons. I probably watched it 30 times.
I'm with you.
All of them the same time over. Amy probably gets tired of it because it's still in the background all the time.
Yeah, no, it's my favorite. It's my favorite TV show of all time. Like I said, the Winchesters, amazing. But she had a shirt on with the tattoo they have, the non-possession tattoo that they'll have. She had that with her shirt on, but it's a pentagram, obviously, And she's like, "Oh, this is from a TV show," and I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, it's from a TV show." But if I run into her, I'll let her know. Why wouldn't you stop by the Queens for a haunted place?
Yeah, it's I believe it's got some ghosts traveling around there somewhere.
Right.
I've had a couple instances where it scared the crap out of me a few times. Like, this is bullshit.
Did you hear something, see something, or was it just like the hair on the back of your neck?
I think one of the biggest ones is I was kind of late, and we keep a lot of stuff upstairs, and I come down the stairs, and I was right down the stairs, just kind of like this, and then right behind me was... And so I turned around and started walking backwards, trying to see what was going on. And there happened to be one other older gentleman in there, and I think just like Adam, does not believe in ghosts very much. And I was like, did you hear that shit? And he goes, yeah, it sounded like someone followed you down the stairs. I was like, yes, someone followed me down the stairs.
Right.
He goes, well, that's weird. He finished his beer and got up and left.
And the club tap room gained a new patron.
Yeah.
I remember there was a lady in red or something, right? Isn't there a story about that also?
And I actually do have a video of that, of her in the mirrors. Like, it was kind of...
Really?
Yeah, kind of creepy. And then I also had the dude that broke in during COVID that was wearing a dress around. That he took one of the dresses off the mannequins we had.
Really?
And he was wearing it around while he was drinking beer and messing up the queen, doing some damage in there.
Nice.
So when we were watching on the videos, me and the police officer was just going through the video, and it was black and white, and he walks right through, and it looks like a ghost walked right through, and all of them were like, whoa, holy cow.
Yeah.
It's like, was that a ghost? No, it was just that dude. He was snorting the pool chalk off the pool table.
When you can't afford condoms.
Well,
How do you get mad at that, though?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I was cracking up. I mean, he did a little damage. It could have been a lot worse what he did
Sure.
in there. It was just...
He broke in, or this is during...
He broke in. Yeah, he broke
Oh,
in. And,
shit.
yeah, unfortunately, it was right during the COVID. So it was when we were shut down. We couldn't, we had to shut down the business for a few months there.
Right.
So,
That's crazy. It's funny because everybody says if they had money, they'd open a bar.
yeah.
And I'm like, are you sure? Because God bless you, man. But it's got to be like a stressful at times, right?
It's got its good days and its bad days.
Right.
I know sometimes it takes its abuse and toll on me. Sometimes,
Sure.
but a lot of good people, a lot of good friends.
Right.
It does afford me a lot of freedom to spend time with the kids, go to sports, and
That's
do
cool.
the other things. And you only get so much time to teach your bullshit to your kids. So
Right.
do my best job to mess them up, and we'll go from there.
That's cool. Well, my man, are you ready to tell some stories?
Yeah, I am. Let's do it.
Adam, you want to read them off?
Yep, I will. We've got Kevin Costner, The Broadmoor, and Rocky's Game.
All right.
Sweet.
I'm going to pick one out, brother.
Well, let's go at the start because I have my notes right here.
Okay,
so
you just want to go do them in order?
yeah, let's go in order.
Let's do it. All right. Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. Did I put a name in there? I probably did. I'm an idiot. I was about 18 or 19 years old, and my parents had just moved to Lusk, Wyoming. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, it's maybe an hour north of Torrington in that area. But it's not too far from Deadwood.
Okay.
And so it's Mother's Day comes rolling around, and I asked my mom, what do you want to do for Mother's Day? And she goes, well, how about we spend the weekend, and we'll go up to Deadwood, and we'll go see Kevin Costner. I'm like, why the fuck would Kevin Costner be in Deadwood? And he goes, his mom and dad live in Spearfish, and he owns a casino, so he's going to be up there. He's going to take his mom out for Mother's Day.
Sure.
I'm like, all right, let's make a weekend of it. We all like golf, so we loaded up our golf club, just me, my dad, and my mom, and we went out there and played a few rounds of golf. Once again, I'm not 21, but I do have my brother's ID. So me and my dad were getting a little drunk while we're doing this.
What's your brother's name?
Heath.
What's up, Heath?
Heath, he passed away about a year ago, but
I'm sorry.
yeah, it's all right.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. It is what it is.
What's up, Heath?
Yeah, there you go. Anyways, we go to play golf, and we're having a good time. We're doing what we gotta do, and then we go to Deadwood to go play some games and hang out and really calm some damage. And all of a sudden, we're walking down the street, and I see this lady walking towards us. And I'm like, man, that chick is smoking hot. And that's all me and my dad could focus on is, who is this chick? And we walk into his casino, which I think was called like the Midnight Star or the Midnight Moon or something like that. Can't remember. It was a long time ago. So I'm walking in, and I have my brother's ID. And right behind me, the guy goes, well, is he old enough? And I turn around, and it's Kevin Costner. And I look at my mom, and I'm like, Happy Mother's Day, Mom? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And so we sat there, and he talked to my mom for about 30 minutes. We got set in line with him at the restaurant. He bought us lunch. It was really cool. I don't know. The story was a really good one. So my mom, she always loves that story because she got to meet Kevin Costner.
I think Kevin Costner's pretty awesome.
Cool.
I've always been a fan.
I've always been a fan of him too.
I like in Robin Hood. That's my favorite. I don't call it crazy. That's my favorite Kevin Costner movie, though.
You know, I've never seen. what's the Buffalo one or the
Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves? I've never seen Dances with Wolves. I've seen a lot of his movies, but that's one I haven't seen.
Did you ever watch Draft Day?
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That was a great one. Did you watch it?
Yeah,
I'm sure I have.
It was super good. He was really good in it, though. I mean,
make a decision, you pancake eating motherfucker.
That's right. It's a fictional story where the Cleveland Browns are actually a great team. They actually make a good draft pick. So pretty much fiction.
I don't know if they're a great team. They're still drafted in the top 10, so they weren't that good.
Yeah, that's true. But they did a good draft. That's the part that's fiction.
Yeah.
So
they never do that right.
Yeah, they drafted the Black Panther, by the way. So 6 degrees of bacon. So what would you think about that one, Bo?
That's pretty cool. You got to meet Kevin Costner.
Yeah, it was cool. Like, if you ever get to go, I don't know if he still owns a casino or not, but he has all his outfits from all the movies are up there.
Oh, really?
So, like, you can see all the different ones, like Waterworld and everything else he's been in over the years.
What's the big TV series he was just in?
Yellowstone.
Was he in Yellowstone?
Yeah,
he was John Dutton.
See, I never watched it.
It was like that. It's apparently Montana's a rough place.
Yeah, at least it is in that corner of the state.
Jesus.
Have you watched it?
Me and Amy have watched quite a few episodes. I think we have to finish the 5th season. We've watched maybe a couple of them, but
I'm caught up. I'm still waiting for the second half of the 5th season to be released.
I think that's where we're about out too.
So,
who's the crazy blonde?
well, Beth.
Is she married to Kevin Costner?
That's
his daughter.
And so she's married to the guy from Dazed and Confused.
He is,
Rip. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you believe that dude's in Dazed and Confused?
No,
like that's
man.
one of like the real ones.
those side by side pictures.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's
He plays an asshole every time.
Yeah.
He does it well.
He does a
man.
good job. Is it Cole Hauser? Is that
Cole
Hauser? that's his name,
Cole Hauser?
Yeah.
He's also he's in a couple other movies that I've liked over the years.
What else has he been in? I put you on the spot.
I have to think of it. He plays like a nightclub owner in one. Unfortunately, I can't remember it. He plays a bad guy in one.
He does. I know. I've seen him from time to time. And I'm like, man, he's an asshole in every damn movie.
He does a really good job of it.
He does do a good job of it. Even in Dazed and Confused, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah,
So.
and he actually turns out to be one of the better ones. You know,
Oh, really?
It's what's his name is the jerk. Who's the guy from Good Will Hunting?
Matt Damon?
Nope, the other one.
Affleck?
Ben Affleck. Remember, he's the guy that's always taking the kids out trying to spank their
Oh,
butts.
and Dazed and Confused. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like one of his first roles, man.
Yeah, it was him and Matthew McConaughey and all those dudes were in there.
Dude, that's the most quotable line of all time. I stay the same.
Yeah.
I get older, they stay the same age. That's so creepy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You laugh about it, but you're like,
Yeah.
that's weird there, guy. All right, that's a great. And it's always cool to hear stories about celebrities when they're not assholes.
Yeah, and he was, like I said, he was really cool. It was a fun time. So
That's cool. He's good to your mom, though.
Yeah,
you know? It's okay if he's a dick to you, right?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
You know, it's
it was a good experience. We won some money, didn't lose any money gambling, so
Nice.
it was a fun time. Got to play.
right on.
Got to play. Oh, my dad had a hole-in-one while we were up there too.
Man, you guys had a big weekend.
Yeah, one of his 7 hole-in-ones he has.
right. Really? You ever had one?
No.
No. But you're quite the golfer, though.
I actually, I got to play golf in college myself, as well as Amy. Both got very fortunate to play golf. So
Here's a shitty thing to ask, Grady. Who's better, you or Amy?
well, guess who won the big tournament again this year? Amy.
I just want to see if I can get you sleeping on the couch tonight. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
So,
My daughter just started golfing. Was it 2 years ago? This is her second year. She'd never golfed. She'd never taken lessons. She'd go with her mom and stepdad. And
really?
yeah. And so she started golfing when she was in 8th grade. She's a freshman now. So last year they golfed in like 7 or 8 tournaments. The lowest she placed was 5th, and that was once. Everything else was like 2nd, 3rd, a couple first. And so I was talking to her the other day. I'm like, so how's your, because we got her new clubs for her birthday. And I go, how's the new club? She's like, they're better than the ones I was using. And I go, cool. I go, so how'd you do? She's like, I don't know. She got all mad. She goes, I think I got like 3rd or something. I should have done better. She got mad. I was like, well, whatever. Well, you've never golfed in your life until a year ago. So
it's harder. It's harder than it looks. I mean, some of those guys make it look pretty easy out there. And
I am horrible at it. I've only done it a couple times. Mike Whaler, they do a tournament. Kobe has a tournament for him every year. And so Alan Goff always puts me on his team and just starts feeding me booze early because then my mouth just does this. Thank God I'm the size I am. It saved me from getting my ass kicked a lot, you know? But I just start doing this, and Al's like, that's all he does. He just runs his fucking mouth, and because I think I'm hilarious when I'm talking shit, and people are like, God damn.
It can get pretty vicious out there sometimes. Some of the guys I play with, we're trying to get into each other's skin because we all want to win, and we always have little bit of money
Yeah,
on the line. So
that's what you're supposed
There's
to
a
do.
page on Instagram I follow called Country Club Adjacent.
oh yeah, shit's funny.
And those guys just sit there and talk shit at the tee box. And they're trying to get the guys to like back off their ball and break their concentration. Some of the shit they say is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, and I love it when they start giving the real golfers shit.
Oh yeah,
Because
they were giving John Daly hell one day.
This is not one of my stories, but Amy and I went to the Phoenix Open 2 years ago. And if you guys ever heard about the Phoenix or watched the Phoenix Open, you see where they have the hole in one, they're throwing beers on the ground, and they're it's a wild party.
Wow.
And they were talking shit to the golfers the whole time, and it is some of the most ruthless shit you can hear.
Really?
And the golfers get a crack out of it. I mean, and that it's hilarious. That's probably the only golf tournament you will ever see that where the crowd is heckling the golfers, and they're like, bring it on some more.
There's a bunch of comics in Denver that started a company called Hole Hecklers.
Yeah,
and that's
it
what they
was,
do. They set up a booth by the hole, and then whoever comes, they just start talking shit to whoever's golfing in that hole, man. They do it for like benefits or whatever. So it was J-Mark for a while, right?
Yeah, it was him. I could see his face. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah. But there's actually a few more. Deacon needs to get into it, but yeah, it's kind of fun. So
nice.
All right, Kevin Costner. Like I said, I like to hear stories of slubs and they're not being dicks. So, all right, next story up, man, is the Broadmoor.
So this is maybe 3 years ago, so pretty recent. My dad's friend had some back problems, so he couldn't play in this big golf tournament at the Broadmoor. Have you guys ever been to the Broadmoor?
Yeah.
It's it's a 5-star hotel, probably the nicest hotel in Colorado. It's the best of the best.
Right.
Anyways, my dad asked if I'll come up and play, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. They're going to give you a brand new golf bag if you show up, pink golf bag. Like, yeah, I'm in.
Nice.
Amy and I went out. We had Taco Bell the night before, and maybe a few beers. So I'm getting ready to get on.
Getting the most evil look right now, by the way. So
it didn't happen to Amy. I'm getting there. You have to park away, and they shuttle you into the golf course. And I get out the car, and I let this fart go. Well, I shit my pants at the Broadmoor.
Flashback to last week. Now we know where the sun gets.
Oh yeah,
it.
the sun. Yeah, couldn't get my overalls off either. And there's nowhere to go. Like, I mean, you're stuck there. The only thing I go is go to the pro shop, and maybe I can find a new pair of shorts. Underwear is obviously toast.
right.
So I walk in, I try to buy a new pair of shorts. They don't have anything in my size. And of course, everything's like $250 to buy anything in there.
Right.
I can smell myself, and I smell like shit.
So it's $250 is a deal at this point in
Yeah,
time.
he's like, I'm going to do it. So
yeah.
I go to the, what do they call it? The pro shop, or the pro shop locker room. And
Right.
I'm trying to get my shit cleaned up. And finally I get kind of like where I'm kind of respectable, but still I'm not mentally, I'm like, oh, this is going to suck. Like, how am I going to tell my dad that I just shit myself at the Broadmoor?
Right. right.
So we're in on the course, and I was like, do I stink? And he goes, I thought something felt off. And so he was like, that's like, oh, I shit my pants out there. And he goes, oh, I've done it like 5 times, Nick, on the golf course. And I was like, oh, thanks, Dad. Thanks for cheering me up. But we go out and, finish the round. I couldn't wait to get home because I didn't want to be at the Broadmoor anymore because I felt like an idiot the whole time, and
Right.
I didn't want to be a part of that situation anymore.
Right.
But hey, I got a new golf bag out of it, and it didn't cost me. Well, it cost me $250 for a new pair of shorts.
I was going
but
to say, lost a pair of shorts, gain a golf bag.
yeah,
So,
and the round was free. So one of my dad's buddies splurged for that one, so I didn't have to pay.
Oh, Taco Bell. The curse of Taco Bell, bud.
Oh, dude, that was just embarrassing. I still can't believe I did that crap. It's just ugh.
I was in DECA in high school, and I went to the state, and it was the Broadmoor. And Mac Deal and I went to get, and there was like 5 guys in a room. I mean, they packed us in there because, I mean, Brush High School is obviously paying for this, right? So they're making us live in there like, refugees. And we went to a place called Red Top, I think, where they have the actual 1-pound hamburger buns or the patties. Do you know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, like the hamburger it's the size of a pancake. It's nuts. It's so huge. And so we went there for dinner one night. Now, there's 5 guys in this room, and we've all been eating these hamburgers, man. There's 1 toilet. You do the math on that one. It's not good. You know what I mean? The Broadmoor's plumbing can take a punch. I'll give it that. They did it right. So, but it's a beautiful hotel, man. It's gorgeous.
One of the thing with Broadmoor, we took our son to Casa Bonita before it closed the first time. It's reopened now, but he liked Casa Bonita. And so when we roll up to the Broadmoor, And he's like, "Is this some kind of fancy Mexican restaurant? Because it looks like it looks like Casa Bonita." I was like, "Dude, this is the Broadmoor."
He speaks Spanish, right?
Yeah, Tom. Yeah, he a little bit.
Tell him, as a matter of fact, it is a Mexican restaurant, Thomas.
Yeah.
Speak Spanish to everybody, you know?
Yeah, but always a good time. It's if you ever get a chance to go up and check that place out, I recommend it. It's cool.
Yeah. Have you been there? Have you?
I've been by it. I know where it
yeah.
is. I've seen it, but I've never been inside.
It's gorgeous.
The zoo that's right there, Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, is right there too. So if you ever want to take your kids to a cool zoo, it's a hike.
Okay.
That's a
That was the last time I was down there. It was Brinley and I went down there when she was probably 10 years ago. Well, probably not long, 8 years ago. But
that's one of the most beautiful things
cool.
you'll see. That thing's cool. But it's a workout. You better have your
It's up in
walking
the
shoes
mountains,
on.
so
See, I've heard all about it. I've never actually been there. That or Garden of the Gods. Everybody tells me about Gardens of the Gods.
yeah, that place is cool too.
Yeah.
I've never been there. I live a sheltered life. My ex-girlfriend, I've never been to Estes Park. And she's like, what? I'm like, no, I've never been. I don't know what's in Estes Park. She's like, what the fuck's wrong? So next weekend, there we are going to Estes Park. So,
Yeah, nice.
it was pretty cool. It was all right. It was,
We've gone a few times. I haven't been to Estes Park too many times. Maybe a handful.
I don't know how many T-shirts you have that says Colorado or has a moose or a squirrel on it. But, I mean, if you want one, go to Estes Park. They're everywhere. So,
Yeah, what do they call a tourist trap? That's a tourist trap
That's
right
a
there.
huge-
That main street right there. It's,
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to go
Right.
by and do that.
but we went during COVID as well.
Okay.
So it kind of bummed me out because I love the haunted stuff,
Yeah.
So I wanted to go to the Stanley and do their little haunted tour, but the Stanley was closed. Well, if you could stay there for $350 a night or something,
Yeah.
but I was like, I don't, not that bad. So yeah, have you ever stayed there?
I've never stayed at the Stanley. No.
Adam?
We
I have.
One of our we do a family reunion, and they always want to stay at that. What's that called? Like the YMCA or something like that.
Yeah, the YMCA of the Rockies.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that place
Yeah.
sucks.
What is it?
The YMCA of the Rockies. It's just
it's
the
in
YMCA.
Estes?
Yeah, in Estes.
Yeah.
But they have like cabins and stuff that you can rent. Like,
hotels and
yeah, they're like it's kind of cool. They have
it's
like
made
a big,
for kids. It's
a
like
big tubing hill and
Next
just
time you
stuff
go
like
to
that.
Pueblo, go stay at the Clink. Have you heard about that?
uh-uh.
So it's the old police station. They built a new justice center. So some guy bought the old police station for like $100,000, right? Because they had tons of asbestos. Well, he turned it into like a little restaurant bar downstairs, and all the jail cells upstairs are all now hotel rooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called
Cool.
the Clink. It's pretty badass, man. I haven't stayed there. I got to see one of the rooms. It's pretty cool, man.
And we do kind of share that as you worked at Peppers, and
Right.
I didn't grow up too far from the Pueblo area, so we spent a lot of time at
Pueblo.
at that was a fun type place to go party at Peppers.
Peppers? I tell you Pepper stories all night. But
We had a good times.
do you know Ben Blecka?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know him from Pueblo?
No, I just know who he is.
Okay. Well, he was in Pueblo about that same time that
Yeah.
you and I had been. About late 90s?
Yeah, 98, 97 in that
See,
area.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what I was down there. So I'm sure we ran into each other.
And Adams High School and our high school were in the same. We were in
same
the same
conference.
conference, same division.
Swink and Holly.
Swink and
we played,
Holly, yeah.
Sounds like a weird
Ba-
sex position.
baseball and basketball against each
Yeah,
other.
basketball. We always catch them. We always catch them at districts and regionals.
Who's dominant?
Come on, dude.
I was to say not us.
So Swink's that. So, what do you think about the Broadmoor?
It was a good one.
I know it's kind of a short story, but it was fun.
Short and sweet, man.
Yeah.
And it's like I haven't actually looked at the streak we're on. Pardon the pun, but for shit stories on the Bullhucker,
Oh, yeah.
like one ever pops up. How often, Adam?
Oh, it's at least every other.
It happens to everyone.
I love
It just,
it,
yeah.
but it's funny because
It
it
is.
does happen to everybody. But
It happens to everybody, but few people talk about it.
yeah.
right,
So-
right. I've gotten to a point where I've become very careful about it in my old age.
Yeah.
Like I plan stuff out. Like I know I can't eat that
Yeah, it's,
unless I'm in sight of that putting in a toilet. I don't. When I leave for work in the morning, if I have to drive to Cope, Colorado, you've been to Cope?
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah.
out in the middle of nowhere, bro.
Right.
Right, so I got to plan shit. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not eating this till I get around 20 miles of Cope. Yeah, it's got bad.
That's worse than Otis.
Oh, dude. Oh, poor Otis. Oh. What's bigger, Otis or Swink?
Ooh, I was going to say Swink. but I
Swink's a
don't know.
bigger school. Swink has
Okay.
Swink's a bigger school, but I think the towns are about the same size.
Is that by Rocky Ford?
It's between La Junta and Rocky Ford.
Okay.
So that's probably the difference. Is it's just right between the two of them.
I have a lot of friends from Rocky Ford, actually.
Yeah.
The Pierre Carrillo. Do you know the Netics?
No, don't think I do.
No?
No.
Okay. Good people, man. A lot
Yeah,
of fun.
it's always the the cantaloupe and the watermelon. If you talk
Yeah.
Rocky
Yep.
Ford, that's
Yep.
like their claim to
Melineers.
fame. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Melineers.
Yeah. The one who told me, Alicia told me her senior year, so that had been like 95, 96, somewhere in there. they lost the state championship to a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
Is that true? Yeah.
Yeah, they because they were actually at that time. Rocky Ford was one classification bigger than us, but we were in the same division, and we went toe to toe 3 times that year. I think we got them 2 out of the 3 times. But we ended up winning the state championship on a buzzer beater.
Really?
And they ended up losing the state championship on a buzzer beater that same year.
She said it was like a full court shot, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That guy just wound up and just chucked it at the basket and nailed it, man. That's the worst way to lose.
I have a lot of friends that played on that basketball team for
Really?
Rocky Ford. Yeah, I don't know. They should have won, but they didn't.
But that's the worst right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pure stupid luck.
We got Holyoke on a buzzer beater
Did
that
you?
same year, and it was a last second shot and just
Really?
happened to go in. I think we were down 12 points with like 2 minutes to go and came back and won.
Kind of along the same lines as that last second loss or win.
Yeah.
When I was a sophomore in high school, we were playing Springfield, and it was in district, so it was like whoever won goes on to regionals. Well, we were up by 1 point at the buzzer, and we won. Well, one of the kids on the team, Jeff Cathcart, jumped up and slapped the backboard, and they called it unsportsmanlike, like a technical on him because it happened right before the buzzer or right at the buzzer. And so they sent one of the guys from Springfield to the line. He got 2 free throws, tied the game. We had to go into overtime because of a celebration foul, or I didn't even know they had that in basketball.
Yeah, you can't slap the backboard.
But he jumped up and slapped the backboard,
Yeah.
so they gave 2 shots to Springfield. They tied the game. So then we had to clear the court because they would, like, the stands had emptied, all that. Yeah. And we had to play. We ended up playing 2 or 3 overtimes after that. And we ended up winning, but it was just one of those things where...
Lucky for your man.
Yeah, big time lucky. But
Yeah, because that would have been devastating.
yeah, that was in 92. We ended up going all the way to state, and then we didn't win shit at state. And I got sick. I damn near shit myself at the Olympic Training Center under the bleachers.
Yeah. That was cool back then when they had the state championships there, and then at the Air Force Academy. That was always cool place to go.
Yeah, we played at the Air Force Academy, and then the girls were playing over at the Olympic Training Center, so we went over there to watch them.
Yeah. They don't let you do that anymore, I don't think.
No, probably
Thanks
not.
a lot, Bin Laden.
You know who Daniel Tosh is?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
So I went and saw Daniel Tosh in concert, and that's how good a comic he is. Yeah. He got the crowd to cheer for Bin Laden. He got them to clap. The joke was so simple. He was like, "Look, 1 tower was good. 2 towers is a little selfish. Okay, that was a little much." He goes, "But here's the great thing. When I used to take my girlfriend to the airport, I'd have to walk her all the way down there, watch her walk down to the plane, wave at the plane as it's driving away, or flying away." He goes, "Now I just drop her off at the curb, man. Yep. Thank you, Bin Laden. Thank you. I got to go home."
Yeah, I think I have seen that one.
So happy. So, all right, we got one more story. Rocky's game.
Rocky's game is kind of like a date night, and this might have been one of Amy and I's first dates. Like, kind of went out of town and did something fun. And I had been playing softball that day. And so playing softball, you know what that is in Brush. I mean, that's drinking beer out in the park.
Sure.
We're going to have a few cocktails.
Right.
I think Amy bought the tickets for my birthday. And we went to go. And she got them from, I don't want to remember who it was, but she worked for the Montforts. The lady that Amy knew, she was like the Montforts like secretary or something. Sure. So the tickets were right behind home play.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Well, we get there and... we stuck some shots into the game, and we're having a good time, and my mouth is running, which sometimes it does. And I'm dropping the F-bomb, like, religiously. F this, F that. Yeah. Here we go. And this dude turns around, and he goes, "I'm getting a little tired of your mouth." And I was like, can I cuss? I gotta do it.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, shut the fuck up and turn around. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Well, he obviously had sent those tickets, season tickets for him. He got up, and he's like, mm-mm. So he gets a security. And we happened to be with my cousin at the same. He went with us. My cousin, one of Amy's friends, went with us too. And they start picking up our shit. And they're young. I was like, you know, we just got kicked out, right? I was like, no, we're fine. They're like, nope, here comes security. And they pretty much escort us out of that stadium because I ran my mouth.
And you maybe just start dating.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of myself.
Good impression.
Yeah. Before the kids, and that was kind of like our first real experience. The first time I think our friends ever got to hang out with me. And, we got on. What sucked is we got there in the second inning, and I got kicked out in the third.
Really?
She was probably getting phone calls from her friends the next day. What do you see in him?
Yeah. No shit, right?
That's awesome.
But that was they were pretty proud of me at the game that day.
Was it an awkward ride home?
Oh, yeah, it was, I guess, yeah. We ended up going to my other cousin's house, because we had to kill some time, so to make some of that, and we messed around. And she didn't hold it against me, obviously, but it was a very short baseball game.
She was like, at least he didn't shit his pants, because I've heard stories.
Yeah, I heard about this guy. I heard about this guy. He's not very good.
I've never been kicked out of a sporting event, actually. Almost been in a few fist fights at one, but never.
I've been. We'll talk about it
later. Yeah. Is it a problem? I mean, is it?
I've been kicked off the light rail one time after a Bronco game. That was
really?
Yeah, that was me and my other cousins. That was a fun time, and that was. Oh, it was right when I liked Jake Plummer. I liked him. I was always a big fan. I mean, John Elway was always my hero. Like that was John Elway is to me. That's the Superman, the Batman.
Right.
We were on the light rail, and someone starts talking shit about. Well, they're talking about Jay Cutler and Jake Plummer, and I'm pretty much staying out of it. And then they start talking shit about John Elway, and I lost my shit. Yeah. I was like, dude, no.
Really?
Yeah. That just wasn't tolerated. So they asked me to get off the light rail. So me and Heavy Kevy got off the light rail and just got on the next one that came by.
Nice.
It escalated quickly. And my cousin, I call him Heavy Kevy, but he's a very big individual. Yeah. He knows where the gym is at, still in great shape. So I talk a lot more shit when he's around, a little more backup. I feel a little tougher if he's hanging out. It's one of those guys.
That seems to happen with me and my sister. Yeah. She runs her mouth all the time, but she runs it even more when she was younger, not so much anymore. But when she's like in her 20s, and she'd run her mouth all the time and even more when I was around.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
And me and Kevin went to high school together. You know, we grew up, we were a pretty good basketball team, pretty good football team and all that. But, I would talk a lot of trash because Kevin or Greg or Kyle were always around. So I was a little tougher when those dudes were hanging out.
That's funny. That's hilarious. I got tickets to go to the Broncos with Trey Bain.
Oh, yeah.
The fire chief.
Yeah.
It's so weird to say that. And it's against the Seattle Seahawks. This is back when Sean, the running back, the Bruiser, 37. Sean, God, he was a running back for him. He was such
Alexander?
Alexander, thank you. And like 2 rows ahead of us, there's 12 Seahawks fans, and they're all painted up, and they're just drunken Guidos. And they're just drunk, but they're fun. They're pretty fun. Like, they're talking shit to the crowd, and people are talking shit back, right? And next to me is 2 empty seats. Well, I don't know, like second, third quarter, these 2 young guys kind of see the seats that come down and sit next to Trey and I, right? And they're Bronco fans. And so these Seahawks fans are talking shit, and they're, raising their hands like this to the crowd because whatever happened. And the one kid goes, "Why don't you sit down, bitch?" And apparently bitch was the attack word. And that guy is like, "I will fucking kill you." And they got real serious. And that kid looks at me and Trey's like, "You guys got our back." I'm like, "I don't got you. I don't even know who you are, man." Like, no, we don't have your back, So I'm like, "You need to go back to wherever nosebleeds you are because you're going to get our asses kicked." So, yeah. But they were fun. I mean, they drove down from Seattle, it sounds like. And so good for them.
I've been very fortunate. We have season tickets for the Broncos, and we sit right in the middle of the south stands, about the third row, just right behind the goalpost. And so I've seen a lot of interesting games, even from the old stadium and the new stadium. It's a lot of cool shit over the years. A lot of fights, a lot of crazy stuff in there.
South stands are notorious, bud.
Yeah, it was a little rougher and fun times. It was always had a good time.
Right.
It's changed a little bit now because now my son likes to go to a lot of the football games.
That's cool.
Amy doesn't really like to go because when it's cold out. She wants no part of being cold. Yeah. So Thomas gets to go to a lot of games. Nice. And so it's changed the aspect of it's not me and my cousins just drinking and partying in the stands. It's more of a dad and son situation.
Father son thing. That's cool as shit though, man. That's great memories for him.
Yeah, and I got to do that with my dad when I was younger. So we've had the tickets for a pretty long time. So I've been pretty fortunate and I've always been a huge Broncos fan.
Oh, me too, bro.
Broncos and Notre Dame. That's pretty much that's where I'm at.
You ready for Russell Wilson this year?
I hope so. I hope he's ready for it.
Let's see. Too.
I mean, I always think we're going to win every game.
Me too.
That's the way I roll.
That's why I was so angry on Facebook last year because I drank the Kool-Aid, man. Yeah. I full on drank the Kool-Aid for the year, man. I was like, we're going to kick everybody's ass, dude. And we got Russell Wilson, and that didn't work out so well.
I really wanted Aaron Rodgers, and my cousin is the doctor for Notre Dame football. He's the head physician for the football team there. And he calls me and he goes, "Hey, I got on good information that Aaron Rodgers is a done deal. He's going to the Broncos." I was like, "That's awesome." I mean, I want Aaron Rodgers so bad. And so when we didn't get him, I was a little upset, but I thought, drinking the Kool-Aid too, that Russell Wilson was probably the better thing because he was younger. You know, a little more years left on the tires, maybe. But it didn't go so well last year. But hopefully, we're about to figure it out, I guess.
I thought Aaron Rodgers is a diva, though. That's what I didn't like, man. He's just a diva. He's
doesn't mean he can't throw a football.
That's true. That's true.
Who cares what he is? He's putting up W's.
Yeah, he can freaking throw a football, and that's what you got to do. I mean, looks like you're wrong. Russell Wilson's a diva too, but it's he just.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
We talked about this with a buddy the other day about how you get blinders on with these athletes when they play for your team, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. We talked about Romanowski. I thought Romanowski, I was a huge fan until he put on the silver and black. I'm like, that's son of a bitch, get him out.
It's like,
get him out.
It's the color of the uniform.
Yeah.
Was it Neil Smith? The Chiefs. He was a Chief for years. Hated that dude, and then he gets that orange and blue one. I love Neil Smith. Yeah. Greatest dude ever. Yeah. Peyton Manning was probably the one for me.
Yep.
I hated Peyton Manning.
Oh, dude.
I saw him get hit in the face with a snowball at Denver once when he was playing for the Colts. That was the coolest shit ever. I was like, I hate Peyton Manning. And then they traded for him. Like, I love Peyton Manning.
I'm with you.
I've been a big fan my whole life.
I'm a teenage girl. Peyton. I'm all happy. But I desperately hated Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Because you couldn't beat him. He was good. Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
I met this girl online one time. She's a Dolphins fan. We got to talking a lot. She sent me a Colts Peyton Manning jersey one year for my birthday. Ed Goff has it to this day because I fucking hated him, bro. And but then when we came to Denver, I was like, he's all crippled and hurt now. I don't want this son of a bitch. But then he's in the Super Bowl alone.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that goes down. It's all the color of a jersey. A color of a jersey will change your mind.
Right.
It's.
I hate Tom Brady, but man, I tell you what, I put on the orange and blue, I'd be like, all right, you tell me a chance.
Being fortunate to being season ticket holder again, the Broncos actually had his number quite a bit in the playoffs. He got us a couple of times, but usually if he was at Denver, he had a losing record in Denver. One of the only places he had a losing record, and it seemed like we had his number, so I always kind of enjoyed that.
Right.
But you got to respect greatness, and what that dude was good.
Yeah. Proof's in the pudding, dude.
Yeah. So. Yeah. You don't have to like him, but
no, not at all. It is what it is. You know what I mean? All right, Adam, we got 3 great stories, man. You got one in mind?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I do too, actually. So before we go on any further, I do want to say thank you to the Brush Emporium. I forgot to say on the last episode they are now delivering in Brush and about a mile out of Brush. So right now it might go into Snyder. Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, me too. They're not going to bring it to us in Morgan, dude.
Not yet. So it's kind of they're just trying it out right now to see how it works. And it might be Hill Road Snyder eventually, but right now it's just in the Brush city limits and about a mile out. So just give them a call here at the Brush Emporium. The information's down in the description below. And they will kind of let you know what they can and can't do. Also, come just check them out. 210 Clayton Street. This is such a great place, great owners, and they've been so amazing and so generous with letting us have this down here. What do you think of the studio, by the way?
This is awesome, man. Like Amy said, this is for basements for old building systems. Yeah. Pretty good. You guys did a good job down here.
Yeah, we did our best, man. I worked on this like crazy, so that's why it's all ghetto. But you know what? It's my ghetto, so
it looks good on camera. That's all that matters.
It's people are like, it's smaller than I thought it was going to be. People think it's this big space. It's not.
When we first walked in, we didn't know it was in the basement, so we're kind of looking around the corners for you guys. Like, well, they got to be around here somewhere.
Right.
Didn't know it was downstairs. Like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, we're in the bowels of the Emporium. So, but they've been so amazing about it. They've done everything in their power to make this work. So, I mean, they've been very supportive, and I really do appreciate it, man. So, thank you, Dana, Gilbert, and the Godfather and Tom, man. They're all 4 studs in my book. So please make sure you support them, because if you don't support small town business, it goes away, man. So please make sure you do that in whatever town you're in. So, all right. Well, we decide who has to decide.
And before we go any further,
I did it again.
2 weeks in a row, y'all. 2 weeks in a row. I'll let you do it this time.
Nope, you did a good job.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a little red button down in the corner. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, because
it's a small click for you, but a huge click for us.
There you go.
Nice.
And no matter what you're watching this on, please like and follow and
rate, review, follow, comment. Yeah. Let us know what you think the Bullhucker is.
And find us on Facebook too. We post everything on Facebook. We have a Instagram, we have a TikTok, all that good shit. So we put all the embarrassing moments on there. It's great. But yeah, thank you so much for supporting us, man. It's picking up. We've gotten a lot more listeners now, and it's
cool,
doing awesome.
We miss you guys, man. When you guys came and DJ'd for us for a lot. When the first few years we owned the Queen, you guys were the go-tos, and then just
then life happened.
Life happens quick. It does, and then but we miss you guys. I mean, I think you did the first 4 or 5 New Year's Eve celebrations. I mean, it's pretty much You were our DJs. And
Yeah.
Well, I miss going down there. Like when we do the comedy shows, we'd take the comics down there, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh yes, that's right.
That was
yes,
a lot of fun.
yeah.
And we'd make this deal where it would be like, all right, you take care of the headliner tonight. I'll take care of the headliner tomorrow night. It never worked that way because, like, when he was supposed to stay sober, he would still get drunk. So I was the comic babysitter, but it was fun. A lot of good times down there.
We used to go to your shows religiously when you guys were at it was the Elks. The Elks,
Lodge,
yeah. We went a
the
lot,
Elks.
so you guys always bring the comics down. We try to treat them guys well.
Because you guys were awesome about it. You could you let us, if you had a ticket
Ticket
stub,
stub.
you'd give them a drink for that ticket stub.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
Brant Tobler, what's up, Brant? Would always be like, we going to the toilet seat bar? We going to the toilet seat bar? I'm like, yes, we'll go to the toilet seat bar. That's the only reason he gave us shit to come to Fort Morgan.
People always still talk about that. That's like they are so infatuated with the toilet seats on the wall and other things but it's kind of like the history for the Queen. That's what it is.
Right.
And it's a cool place. You can come check us out sometime.
Yeah.
Our staff right now is crushing it. We're doing pretty good, trying to go in the right direction all the time.
Right.
But once again, small business, so we do have our struggles too.
Sure.
And,
Sure.
it is what it is.
It's tough. Yeah. I mean, the DJing was fun, but then I got a job right on weekends off, so
Yeah.
we get Levi coming down there quite a bit.
Levi still
right?
comes every once in a while. He stays pretty busy. Like,
Yeah.
he's got young kids too. And,
Right.
but he stays pretty busy. And he's like, he's our go-to guy for
Right.
DJ, and he's got a good setup, and
Right.
he crushes it all the time. He's just a good dude.
He's a great DJ.
Yeah,
he's fantastic
yep.
DJ. I'm a better dancer.
Shout out Levi.
Yeah, Levi Bauer, but yeah, I'm a better dancer, Levi, just so we're clear. All right, so, all right, when we decide who has to pick first, Nick, we rock, paper, scissors. Now,
Okay.
here, this is going to hurt. I just feel it. Are you a 3-pumper or 4-pumper?
It's a rock, paper, scissors shoot.
God, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
This is going to be a landslide this year. Just, you know what? I'm not joining the cult, just so we're clear, okay?
How do you do it? I guess I'm confused. Like,
Rock, paper, scissors.
oh.
He shoots on the last
Oh,
one.
I gotcha. I was wondering, like, what are you guys talking about?
That's
the rock,
Because
paper,
I do like you do rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah.
He just rock, paper, shoot.
scissors. Yeah, rock,
Yeah.
paper.
So he plays rock, paper. I play rock, paper, scissors.
No, I play rock, paper, scissors. You play rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
No.
Yes.
I play all three and then you go.
No, it's not called rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You know what? Let's not get into the argument this
Yeah,
time.
what the lizard likes the lizard Spock, or
Yeah.
or like Joey from Friends. That's fire.
That's right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. God damn. All right. You got me finally.
I got you.
I was on a streak of like 3, which is pretty damn good for me. So we have 3 great stories. We have Kevin Costner, Broadmoor, and Rocky's game. Now, I think Kevin Costner, I'm hoping that's a true story, so I'm going to say it's a true story. I'm going to go with that being true. The Broadmoor, you know what? I think that's a true story. I think it's a great story. You know what? I love shit stories. And like I said, we're on some kind of weird streak, man. Even your wife had a shit story, you know? It just happens, man, because it's funny and it's relatable. And it's one of those things in life that we all do, but nobody wants to admit to. Everybody's ashamed of it. Not to get too far into it. When the Zinks were on here, Yolanda has a story like that. And her and Jen were explaining to me how women, if they're in the bathroom and if they gotta hit a number 2, they won't do it when somebody else is in there.
No.
Yeah, I guess they wait till they hear that door shut, and then they just power it out, man, you know? And I'm like, see, guys don't care, man. You know, it's
I know I just said this. My daughter's going to hate me, but she gets home from school the other day, and I was like, how was school? Don't talk to me. I'm about to sharp myself. And runs to the bathroom. Like, okay, Chuck. I was like,
well, at least you know you don't need a DNA test. That's
yeah,
your daughter,
yeah,
so that's
yeah.
good. So I'm going to say Kevin Costner is a true story. I'm going to say the Broadmoor is a true story. I'm going to say Rocky's game is half true, half made up. I think that some of it might have happened. You might have went to the Rockies game, but I don't know if you got kicked out that quickly or there's something to that point, or why Amy would have not just kicked you to the curb at that point. So we'll question her later on that. All right.
I think I'm going to go with the Broadmoor. Because like you said, it's a shit story. Everybody has them. We can all relate. But I'm thinking, since you didn't tell us if it was like a made up, a borrowed, whatever, I'm going to say that's your Bullhucker, but it's a true story that you've borrowed from somebody.
All right.
so how do we go about
So you're going Broadmoor?
I'm going Broadmoor.
I'm going Rocky's game. Let's flip that bad boy over and let's check it out. Rocky's game.
Do you guys want to hear the true story about the Rockies game?
Is it borrowed? Is it
It's a true story. Guess who got
Wait.
kicked out?
Amy.
That's awesome. That was why she was glaring at you.
I was going to say, that explains the look.
That's awesome.
It was all about true, pretty much, except for who it was. And
Because of the F word.
Yes.
Good for her.
Yes. It was fun. And in her defense, she was playing softball that day, and her and her friends were having a good time. And it was my birthday, and we did end up having to leave in the third inning.
Some guy turned around to her and said that.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was pretty much how that went down. And by the way, she also got kicked out of the Broncos game, too. First quarter.
That's awesome. Good for you, Amy, a rebel. I love it. Kevin Costner, true story.
Yep, that was a true story. My mom was a huge fan of Kevin Costner, and that was one of those things that you got to sit in with your family and actually share that experiment. And just to have him checking my ID, which was a fake ID,
sure,
and he's like, "Is he old enough?" Like, yep. And I'm just shitting my pants, like, "Happy Mother's Day."
Yeah. He was. Little did they know you're fucking him over by being underage in his facility.
Yeah,
He buys your mom dinner anyway. That's cool.
He survived.
Yeah. And the Broadmoor.
I think he did all right.
The Broadmoor was a true story, and that really did happen recently. And that was just kind of. It was just. I mean, it was horrible. That was a horrible. I mean, I thought my dad was pretty cool about it. Dude, it happens to the best of us. Don't let it get you down. And like I was just. Oh, this is just so embarrassing.
You were wearing pants or shorts?
I was wearing shorts. It was actually in October, so it was actually a pretty nice day out for like I think it was 78, 80 degrees, and I had never played that golf course, and that is a
badass.
Yeah, that's a they play a lot of big events there, so
sure.
It's a really cool place.
That's very cool. All right,
but that's not the place you want to be pulling that crap. That's for sure. No. Seriously,
that's awesome. So the Queen Lounge, what do you guys got going on at the Queen Lounge?
Well, we got a lot of big events coming up. I don't have the schedule right here in front of me. Trish, our manager, Trish Bartles, has got little things lined up. I think she's got Levi scheduled for a few things. I don't have the dates right in front of me.
Right.
We had a big birthday party for the high school Fort Morgan's football coach the other day. His 40th birthday for Ty. Yep, that was a good time.
What's up, Ty Davies?
Yeah. Good luck, buddy. Let's go get him this year.
Except Brush. Brush is going to kick your ass.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here you go. Actually, I'll tell you later. Go
okay. We're not going to get in that, right?
Yeah.
But, so that was fun. We have a lot of we get a lot more events down there. People want to have birthday parties. We've had baby showers. We've had a lot of things down there. Yeah. Weddings. It's just kind of cool that we have that. Usually, I don't really charge people to rent it. I was like, just come have some drinks, buy the drinks from us, and it'll all be good.
Yeah.
So, it's a fun experience. I mean, it's changed our lives. That's for sure. It'll help us get into some better spots. It also causes problems too sometimes, but it's the Queen. But we struggle with it and we deal with it and we go from there. But it's a fun place, and there is a lot of history there. I mean, that place is
tons of it.
People can tell you stories that before it was a bar, that people that lived up, because there's 42 rooms upstairs that used to be a hotel.
Right.
So, and there's a lot of people that lived up there that still live around here. Like they'll tell stories about living up there.
Really?
Yeah.
My mom used to date a guy who told a story about a lady named Lane, who rode naked through a horse in that bar.
Yeah, I wasn't around for that. There was I can't think the dude's name, but he shot the clock off the wall with a gun. He rode a horse in and did the same thing, but he just shot the clock off the wall with a gun. And
right.
Yeah, so like there's some stories in there that you're like, oh my goodness, this is.
You got one handy or no?
Well, the ones I have are pretty. I mean, they're pretty generic. They're always pretty fun.
Right.
I guess I don't have one that was just like that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But people are like, I guess I really don't want to talk to them. It's like I don't know if I want to drop any names on that, but I've seen a lot of fun, interesting things go down. I've seen because I'm a Broncos fan, watch a lot of good games down there.
Yeah.
And usually, if it's a away game, I'm usually down there watching the game, and so things got pretty excited. I got to celebrate Super Bowl 50 down there with, with my kids and some friends, and that was cool. So that's always a good thing. Sports are a pretty big deal for Amy and I. We're big fans of all the local teams. I want all the local. I obviously want Fort Morgan to beat Brush because I live in Fort Morgan, but I also want Brush to win every other game they play.
Right? Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah,
what's kind of cool about opening a bar like yours too is the history, people's history, like that have met there and went on from there. You know what I mean? We talked about Levi Bauer, his wife Megan. Yeah. Their first date was one of our comedy shows.
Really?
Yeah.
She tended bar for us. Megan did for a little bit.
Did she really?
Yes, actually, she was. I knew her from high school, just mutual friends from high school. But she helped us out a little bit there, and so he would come I think they might tell more of the story than I would know, but that he would come DJ and she would be bartending.
I remember DJ. Maybe I don't remember her bartending though. Maybe though. I'm sure. There's been so many that came and gone, right? I mean,
that's just
every bar is like that.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. So.
She was one of the good ones like that. We've had a lot of good employees over the years, but she was always, she was a good one. She's fun. I was actually in Akron. My son was wrestling, and I was looking through their state championship trophies, and she was like on 3 or 4 state championship track teams there. And I kept on like Megan Charney. I was like, holy crap, man!
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Just a stud, man.
Yeah.
From Akron, Colorado.
Yeah.
Fucking Rams, baby.
The Rams.
Nick, man, I want to thank you so much for coming on. But before we, one last thing, what's the address of the Queen?
It's 112 West Kiowa Avenue.
Right
next door to State Farm.
Right next door to State Farm. Look for Amy's smiling face on the side of the building and go have a drink.
My buddy was talking about that like that. You ever seen that? I haven't seen the movie, but they called the movie Smile. It's like
I haven't.
But you've seen like the advertisements for it. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
My buddy gives her crap about that. It's like he looks like that chick. I was always smiling.
Nice. And I gotta say it again. The HGTV thing came through.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good experience.
Did they come to you, or did you apply for that?
That was weird. The Chamber of Commerce came to us and asked if we'd be interested in sitting down and having a conversation with them, and it was kind of cool. We had a Zoom or Skype call, old school, and the lady we interviewed with, she was pretty cool, but in the background she had a picture of Noshan Marino. And so when they're done with the conversation, I'm like, hey, is that Noshan Marino? She goes, oh yeah, Noshan and my husband were good friends. They went to Georgia together. And so they've been friends since college, and he's a good friend of ours, and he was at our wedding. And I thought, she was like, that's really cool that you recognized him. I was like, well, he was a Bronco. I mean, he was really, I enjoyed watching him play. And so anyways, I thought that kind of set with her, like, hey, these guys might be actually pretty cool, and I thought might set us apart, that we could figure that out. And then we didn't hear from them for like 3 months, 4 months, nothing from nobody. And Amy asked me, she goes, what do you think? I was like, well, obviously we didn't win, or they would have called. And then that's pretty much the next day, here comes the phone call. They're like, hey, would you guys sit down for another interview, and would you wear the same thing you wore the first time? Like, well, I don't remember what we wore, and that was the middle of January, and now we're cruising into June, so it's a little different situation here.
Yeah,
it's 100-degree temperature change.
Amy and I and our teenage girls, we don't selfie ourselves as we leave the house.
But I think we did 3 or 4 more interviews with them before. Then they started mentioning, and that's when I told Amy I think we'd won, when they started talking about lawyers and getting lawyers involved.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, all right, like this is they're not going to get their lawyer involved if
it's not serious.
Yeah, my lawyer works for booze. So.
All in all, positive experience though.
It was. I had a good time. You only get to meet the stars of the show very rarely. They're not there the whole time, but you get to deal with the film crew and the producers and all that, the construction crew, and they were all really, really cool to deal with. And we did as much as we could to help them out too, as much like help them out and do our part. But got to meet a lot of new friends. Got to meet Little John. That was cool.
That would be cool.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was.
What?
I didn't know who he was.
I'll be damned.
We were in the back, and they asked me, like, do you know who this is? And they showed me a picture of him. I'm like, I don't know. And he was like, it's Little John. I was like, who's Little John? So I Google him, and the first thing that comes up is the Dave Chappelle skit of being Little John. I was like, oh, that guy? I was like, okay. So that's how I was like, I can still picture just Dave Chappelle is Little John.
Yeah. You don't know what he actually looks like, but you know Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. But he was really cool too, and I thought he was really cool with the customers that were there to film, and
that's cool.
He left and filmed and came back. He said, I'll be back in a little bit, and I'll come sign some more autographs for everyone. And he hung out for quite a bit.
Very nice.
Dave and Jenny were super cool. They were, I actually played against him in high school too.
Oh, really?
Because he went to Kiowa.
Yeah.
And so our paths had crossed a few times in sports.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll say it again. Like you watch the show. Yeah. Pretty cool what they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't get the experience to actually walk into that damn bar and look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's different. Like you walk in, you're like, holy shit! It's really. You take back a little. It's pretty cool. It's really cool.
They did a really good job, and I mean, it does look amazing. Especially they did the one side, and they didn't touch the historic side because we didn't want them to touch the old side that has the cool floor. If you've ever seen, you guys ever been to the Queen? If you go in there and check the ceiling and the floor out in the Queen Lounge, it's got the tile and the cool tin ceilings and stuff. Right. It's historic in there.
Right.
But they made it look good, and it blends. It blends like it should go together. So. Right.
You got your golf stimulator back there, right?
I do have my golf simulator back there. Yep. trying to work on my craft, bud.
She wanted us so bad to take that out.
Oh,
Michaela, where she's like, Nick's got a golf stimulator. I'm like, you mean simulator, right? She's all, take that out. I go, oh no, it stays in. So
Yeah, that's we had some people. I've been playing the league, and I've been giving away like 2-hour rounds on the simulator if you
Nice.
went like closest to the hole or any kind of like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
we've had people. Some more people showing up, and when the weather turns bad, there'll be more people in there wanting to hit golf balls.
Right.
I do recommend you bring your own clubs because I don't want to use let's share mine. So
right. Buy some cheap ones, dude.
yeah, I got some in the back, some old
Yeah.
ones and some left-handed ones that people can hit, but
Nice.
it's fun times.
That is cool, man. Yeah, it's really cool that what they did there, man. And the front looks amazing. The front.
Yeah. Yes, it does. They did it. It changed the whole complexion of that.
Right.
That black looks really cool. And then I was telling you earlier, we put the new lights out there too, so it brightens it up a little bit. It was kind of dark on the alley or on that side street there.
Right.
So a lot of people always thought, are they closed? It was tough.
Right.
So they redid the sign for us, which was really cool, and some other things they did for us that were just amazing.
Right.
And, the price was right too.
One last thing. Yeah. One last thing. Do you still have that room upstairs that has all the old stuff,
I do.
the bed and stuff?
It's unfortunately now it's full of a bunch of signs and neons and stuff like that because one of the things with the show is you got to take down every logo. I mean, there couldn't be any logos. So that means every sports logo, Pepsi, Coors, everything had to come down so that you couldn't have anything that nothing. Like I couldn't wear a Notre Dame shirt.
Nothing copyright.
Yeah. It had to be a Queen Lounge shirt or black or something like that. They couldn't wear anything else.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
But it was cool. They had that. Did you go see that room?
Yeah, I have been up there. Yeah,
because that's who put that together.
Keith and Betsy Lehman. I'm sure the Bohms had something to do with that too. Keith passed away a few years ago, but Betsy's still around. She still comes in.
Yeah.
She's a trooper, man. She's one of our favorite people. So,
right. And it was made in 1935 or whatever. Right?
I think the hotel opened in 1930, but I think the original floors were something like 1912. But before they started adding on to it.
But the room was decorated how it would have looked back then.
Correct. Yeah, it is.
Because you took a few comedians up there as we brought them in. I'm like, you got to go see this upstairs, man. They were like, this is amazing. Yeah. So, and then we told them about the ghosts, and then a few of them were like, fuck this, let's go downstairs.
I thought you said communions, and I was like, comedians up there, comedians. So I usually go to the Catholic Church for that.
That's right. All right, Nick, whip out the wafers. We're here. Let's do
I was like, all right,
let's get holy, baby. Nick, man, thank you so much for coming.
Oh yeah,
on.
appreciate it, guys. Thanks for letting me do this. We're excited. Now we're gonna go get some pizza and some wings and go home and feed the kids.
Yeah, and if you're curious about the Queen Lounge, in the description below, we'll have a link to the Facebook. Is that
correct?
Okay? Yeah, we'll have a link there, so check them out. Go in there and at least go and have a Moscow Mule and check out that back room. It really is pretty cool when you see it up live, So.
Yeah, it's a pretty good thing. And come down, hang out, enjoy the beer, enjoy the people you're going to talk to, and
if they try and kick you out, call me a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Amy. All right. Nick, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm out of Vokey.
Next time. Peace. I was gonna take a little picture.